Welcome back to I'm African podcast. I'm your host Liz, and today we have a co-host Melody, and we're here to talk about 2026 World Cup. And this segment is just going to cover the World Cup, right? And there is an aspect of it that we have to talk about related to the podcast. But guess what? We are going to take a turn today. We're talking about sports, and we're talking about the 2026 World Cup, especially us living in Houston, and Congo and Portugal are playing in Houston, and us being Congolese. Yes, if you couldn't tell, where's your bracelet? All right, we are definitely Congolese. So the first topic that we're going to talk about is this World Cup, this being Africa's big moment. For the first time in history of the World Cup, Africa has 10 countries that qualified. And that historical moment was defined by the win by the Democratic Republic of Congo. So let's talk about this. 10 African teams qualified, right?
Mm-hmm.
What does this say about the continent's growth overall?
I mean, there is definitely a growth because we went from 32 teams in World Cup to 48, and we went from 4 spots to 55 spots to now 9 spots guaranteed for Africa and 1 spot to the playoffs, which one African team, if they qualified, had to compete with the other world teams. And as y'all saw, the Democratic Republic of Congo qualified for the 10th spot. So, of course, it is a show of growth for the continent and especially for the country.
Yes.
It's been a long battle.
Do you think this is like the most competitive Africa has been when it comes to like sports in the World Cup? Going from like just AFCON, what we saw in AFCON, and now we're talking about the grand stage, the World Cup.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, for sport, I don't really know, but for football, soccer, for sure, because we've seen it for the past, I would say for the past decades, the level of the AFCON has been rising.
Yeah.
And now you have African teams competing on top levels with top teams. Yes, it's definitely a growth for African football.
I definitely agree with you. We're talking about 2022 FIFA World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
Morocco had a historical run, the semi-final run. What do you think about it? Compared to like compare then in 2022, and now we have all these countries competing. Do you feel like there is potential for someone to get that far from the African continent?
Yes, definitely.
You think Morocco?
Probably.
I actually do.
They are the most stable team right now.
The most stable?
It's the leading country in African football.
Really?
Yes.
After they were just handed the AFCON win because they complained?
They still got to the final.
Yes, boy.
Okay. Let's talk about African football right now.
Okay.
For the past 5 years,
Morocco's been dominating.
In every field.
Yeah.
U17, U19, U20, African Champions League, African Cup of Confederations. They reached the semi-final of the World Cup.
Okay.
And they reached the AFCON's final. So we can clearly say that there's been a work done by the federation.
Mm-hmm.
And they actually did something that a lot of federations in Africa don't do. They bet on it.
That's a good point. But I feel like they tend to do these things where they make it to finals, semi-finals, and they just don't win. So I don't know how much of 2026 how far they're going to get in 2026 by winning it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to see that. But also going back to 2022, I feel like one of the historical moments that people still remember till today, and I'm one of those people, is when Morocco was going to semi-final and we're all cheering as an African continent. And then something was said about, we are not African, we are Arab nations. Do you think that kind of like changed people's perspective on how they want to support North African countries?
Well, to clear this sentence, he did not say, I don't even remember what player was it. I don't know if it was Sofiane Moufa, I don't remember. He said it's a big victory for
North
Africa and the nation of Morocco. But that was one player out of 22. If you remember, Akimi said on Instagram, he posted, no African country ever reached the World Cup semifinals. And he put a cross on it to show that now an African country did that. as the captain of Morocco. It was one player. We know how some part of their population feels about Africa, but we know what the majority thinks about it. So I really do believe that Moroccans feel proud to be African and they actually represented the continent on the world.
But anyways, did Morocco actually change like a global perspective on like how people saw African football? Was it just the North African reputation that was affected?
Yes and no. Because of course they were part of it, but they were not the only ones to do that.
Oh,
Senegal too.
yes.
Like Senegal's being very, very constant on their growth.
Yeah.
Algeria, like I would say, African football it changed from I would say 2010 and mostly 2014 when Algeria surprised everybody in the 2014 World Cup and all that. No disrespect to what they've done in the past, but I can clearly say that Morocco's been playing a big part and also all other African teams.
Okay, that's a good way to look at it. So, do you think European teams are not taking Africa more seriously?
Yes.
Me too. I agree.
Yes.
I actually agree.
You can clearly see that when they play friendly games and then and for those who actually doing know African football, the African teams used to play not so top level teams.
Yeah.
You know, you will play
some random team from
teams.
With all the
respect. Yeah, those things you was not gonna be like when you see that you got single beating England.
honestly.
Well, I would say Zambia playing Argentina. And you know, you're a African.
Hey, but how many goals were scored though? There was still a lot of competition.
2-0.
Yeah, but it's 2-0. It could have been worse if we're talking about like back in the day or like let's say 5-10 years ago. Yeah, it would have been more because Messi was playing. And Messi scored one goal the whole game.
I'll give it to you. Like so yeah, I feel like non-African teams are actually taking the competition.
Yes.
I mean African teams seriously.
Yeah. Okay. Now let's talk about the powerhouses, the countries, the teams that are in the World Cup today. And I think France should be counted as an 11th African.
Well, then Congo should be counted as a European country too. How many players were born in Congo in that current team?
But it's not about it's people of like African heritage being in European state. If you look at France, France is all African players. Their roots are African. It's the other way around for
when you look at a Congolese team, the majority of them don't even speak fluently enough about languages.
Listen, I was going to say I don't either, but I do.
She does speak 2 or more of them Congolese languages.
Okay. We'll agree to disagree. Anyways,
let's move on to the next part. North Africa. We're gonna start with the signing. Of North Africa. They have the Greece on the flag.
Oh, but yeah, I know, but like you're giving them a lot of, ginger.
You gotta give credits to what it's do. So we're gonna start on the Moroccan team, from surprise to standard. We see that now Morocco doesn't play anymore as an underdog, but now they set a bar, they set a standard. What do you think about that?
Listen, they're like one of the African teams that's made it that far in the World Cup. We're talking about 2022 World Cup. It made it to semifinals. And that is the bar that was set for Africa, right? And I feel like now we have the opportunity to go further. They've been playing as underdogs, right?
Yep.
But I feel like they're still seen as underdogs in some capacity because I think there's still teams out there, there's still players out there. There are still people out there that don't take African football seriously, and I don't think they see Morocco as a real threat.
But I really think that we gotta take these teams that take Morocco as underdogs seriously because we're talking about a team that reached the semi-final of the World Cup and reached the final of the AFCON. They're not coming as underdogs this time. They're coming as contenders because they did not have a random path to the semifinal. They beat the top teams. They beat Portugal. They beat Spain. So I don't really think they're coming as underdogs this time. But like some countries, and I really want to know which countries think that they can beat Morocco. If teams like France take Morocco seriously,
they might, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think like they shouldn't be part of the World Cup.
I feel like, to me, I don't know if Morocco's like 2022 run was just a miracle or if they actually like established dominance and now they're going to be a dominant team. I think there's a lot that we have to think about when it goes to World Cup. This is different stage. AFCON is a different stage, right? You have a team that has established this dominance in the continent of Africa because they have all the resources that they need to be able to prepare. But now they're going against teams that have been living with those resources, teams that have like they have more that have been invested. They have better players from within Sub-Saharan Africa that come and play for them.
So
I don't know if the competition
really
numbers is
talking about that 22 World Cup, do you think it was a miracle that they got there?
I think it was a miracle.
So
I really do think
it was not a miracle because, again, you can see the growth in every level, from U17 to the professional ones. They've been putting the work. So
they have been putting the work, but it's not enough work.
Enough to reach the semi-final last time, so let's see if they can get through.
You know, last time was 2022. We're talking about 2026. It's different. I feel like
they got it.
Okay.
Let's talk about easy nation.
Easy nation.
This is Algeria. Flair and frustration. Algeria has always been one of the teams that always have elite talent, but on international level, they sometimes fail to deliver. So, from winning the AFCON in 2019 and missing the 2022 World Cup, what do you think of the team in this upcoming World Cup?
You know what? I think they're chaotic. I'm not even going to that team. Listen. The teams that they played, think about AFCON this year. The teams that they played, the performance of the other teams. The other teams had to play like really bad for Morocco to play better or win. But they also have one powerhouse, one player that they have to depend on. If that player doesn't perform well, the rest of the team doesn't really show up. They remind me of Nigeria. They remind me, you see the whole situation with Victor Osimhen. If Victor Osimhen doesn't perform, the whole Nigerian team doesn't, like, they break apart. I feel like that's how Algeria is.
Marius, let me ask you a question. What's it mean for when you watch national teams playing World Cup, this World Cup, or the AFCON?
Wait, my jersey doesn't tell?
Okay, now let me ask you. When we lost to Algeria 1-0 in the round of 16 of the AFCON, the 2026 AFCON, Riyad Mahrez delivered a poor to mid performance. He got subbed out. And we lost the game, but people that got subbed in. Last time Mahrez depended this when they won us.
You know why they won? Because Congo had one of the most poor performances. If Congo had played to the level that they're supposed to play, Congo would have won that game.
To that because yes, we on the first half, for example, we didn't have the possession, but we still managed to have more shots than them. So we were taking chances. The second half was more complicated, and even the extended time was even worse. But
yeah,
you cannot take the fact that they beat us without Mahrez on the field because he was already sat there.
It was a lucky win, just like it was the lucky.
Luck doesn't exist in football.
Yes, it does.
No, there's always football is a mental game. First of all, it's a mental game. If one team is stronger mentally, they'll win the game. So you might think it's the lucky win, but like, what was the acquisitions? How many shots they had? How many shots? Okay. The distribution of the ball, most of the ball position was on our side.
I know, but when Congo, the time that they scored, Congo was not playing well. Congo's defense was all over the place. They were chaotic.
Whose fault? It
is a lucky win. Because they got lucky because Congo had to play back. You're literally proving my point. The only reason why they won is
because they couldn't play otherwise. No,
there is why.
Overall, Algeria, we came into that game too prideful, and we'll still remain prideful.
Absolutely.
It's DRC we're talking about.
Yeah.
But they were better, and Mahrez was not for a lot.
He had a bad day. And the whole team didn't perform until it was extra time when they scored.
But it was just an example to show that they can win a game.
No, I don't think so. I think that was just a unique situation. We're talking about the World Cup. We're not talking about just them playing
But how the good youths coming too?
inexperienced players.
I mean,
The first
they are experienced players that have been there before and are coming youth like, come on, you should not see for Nigeria. I'm just saying.
oh Lord. Okay, we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Okay.
So I think they're contenders. You think they're chaos.
I think they're gonna be chaotic. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay, let's talk about Tunisia.
I always have mixed feelings when it comes to Tunisia because
How did they get to the World Cup again?
I mean,
Like their whole journey to the World Cup. It's just a blur. We know when they're listing African countries, Tunisia is there.
because people always forget that Tunisia can achieve your game. That's something I have mixed feelings because it's always big expectations for Tunisia, and sometimes the team doesn't meet. And which is funny because I don't know if I can take them as contenders for the World Cup mostly after their poor AFCON performance. I hope that in the meantime they had time to restructure the team, have remotivate players for this big scene, but I really don't know. I really don't know about Tunisia.
Okay. Here's the thing. They are known as the giant killers because they beat France in 2022. But do you think they have that potential to do that again?
Definitely.
To be a bigger team?
Definitely.
Because they always come out of nowhere.
That's what I always say. They always have big expectations because people see potential in that team. Just for them to realize how big of a team they are and they used to be. And yeah.
We'll see what happens. So we have Egypt. Do you think this is Mohamed Salah's legacy tournament?
What do you think?
Do you think if he doesn't win this World Cup, it's going to affect his legacy? No, really.
Not even an ounce of it.
Okay. So
no African country has ever won the World Cup. Let's say it straight, but we have great players known and recognized widely and internationally. We're talking about Didier Drogba, we're talking about Samuel Eto'o, we're talking about George Weah, we're talking about Roger Mila. None of these players ever won the World Cup, but they're still legends of the game. So I really don't think that we should pressure Mo Salah into anything, mostly when you know that Egypt has never won a single African World Cup game. So, no, he's still going to remain Mo Salah, one of the greatest players, one of the greatest African players, football players, Premier League players. So, no, legacy untouched.
Legacy will be untouched. I feel like his reputation. I don't know. I don't really like his performance lately. I've been watching him play with Liverpool. He did get benched at one point. This is Mohamed Salah we're talking about, one of the best players in the world, right? He got benched.
Did he get benched for tactical reasons, or he got benched because
both? Because even when he came off the bench, he started playing again. He's been playing like shit.
I'm just saying,
his man
is just a foreigner again. And on the last Liverpool PSG game, he delivered. We still won because we had a strong defense. But
how many goals did he score?
Did he not score?
Exactly. But he's Mo Salah. We're talking about Mohamed Salah right now.
Talking about football, you expect superstars to score every game?
Yes, people like him are supposed to score every game. What is the point of having him on the team?
Ronaldo score every game. The last time Messi won the Champions League was in 2015.
Listen, Ronaldo is one of the toppest scorers of all time.
He did not score every game.
He didn't score every game, but in crucial games, you were playing Champions League. You were playing in Champions League. Your name is Mohamed Salah. You cannot deliver for your team, and that's my issue with
it slows and downs in football. Like when he won in 2019, he was on top of the world. But like right now, he's getting old. You cannot just expect him to have the same performance all the time.
Hence why the question is, if he doesn't win this tournament, is he going to affect his legacy? Are people going to remember him beyond just the best player that he is? Because these days his performance has been very poor, and everybody's talking about his performance being poor and not focusing on the fact that he has had a really great run. He's one of our legends.
Right, I have no expectation for him also.
You really?
No. How can you have big expectation when your team still being one of the teams that play the most World Cups? Your team never won a single game. We're talking about the first African team to play the World Cup. We're talking about I think the second team that played the most World Cup, if I get my facts straight, and they never won a single game. Why are you gonna put too much pressure and expectation on somebody stepping into the competition?
You know what? That's a good question. For me, when I look at greats, I think about all those things and I expect them from the greats. If we're going to sit down and have conversation about the greatest football players of all times, and we mention Mohamed Salah, we have to have some level of expectation for him to deliver in times that they need him the most. And he's been disappointing me lately.
I agree with that, but there is also a reality check when it comes to the continent with the fact that no African country ever. You cannot put the World Cup as a unit of measure for greatness in Africa. You have players that actually changed the world in the game, like JJ Okocha or Samuel Eto'o.
Yeah.
You know?
That's fair.
No talent, you win the World Cup, you the GOAT. If you don't, it's okay, you still one of our best. Thank you.
Okay, well, let's move on. Who do you got?
All right, now we're gonna move to the sub-Saharan team.
Sub-Saharans.
And we're gonna talk about the current strongest sub-Saharan African team right now.
They're actually the real AFCON winners. The real 2026 AFCON winners.
This is not important. I'm not here for politics, okay? We're gonna wait until they give the final verdict and we'll know who won. Still,
we actually know who won.
I mean, they did win the game fairly because the game resumed and they kicked the penalty that they missed. So Senegal actually won the game.